Welcome to K-Beauty This or That, episode 5. We have not done a this or that in a long time, and so I'm really excited to bring the series back. Now, K-Beauty This or That is a game we play between two really similar K-Beauty products, and we're going to do a comparison review. We're going to be comparing ingredients, texture, performance, ultimately deciding which one is better or which one is better for you. So today's episode is really the toners and essences edition. So I've got a first essence showdown between one super classic first essence, the Misha Time Revolution First Treatment Essence, plus the new kid on the block, which is also one of the most popular choices out there, the Neogen Micro Ferment Essence. I've also got a showdown between Laneige Cream Skin Refiner and I'm From Rice Toner, plus stay tuned for the battle of expensive essences. Primera Miracle Seed Essence goes up head to head with the Iope Bio Intensive Essence. So give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. First up, Misha Time Revolution First Treatment Essence RX versus the Neogen Real Ferment Micro Essence. So let's talk ingredients and really the star ingredient of any first essence and the ingredient that makes it different from your traditional essences are the fermented ingredients. Yeah. Can't have a first essence without ferments, right? Now, fermented ingredients are going to play a massive role in any first essence. So it really is kind of like twofold. It helps to improve your complexion, but it also helps to enhance your skincare routine. Misha uses two fermented ingredients, yeast extract as well as bifida ferment lysate. And these are well-known fermented ingredients that really do help the overall hydration of skin. They help with brightening, but they also have the ability to help support your moisture barrier function. And they're also well-known as being some of the more gentle fermented ingredients available. As far as other sort of notable ingredients in here, we've got pearl powder. Now, pearl powder is used widely in K-beauty products for brightening up the skin. We also have niacinamide, another brightening goodie, adenosine, which is a great wrinkle fighter. We also have ceramide, NP, and cholesterol, which again are barrier supportive ingredients. I also just quickly want to say this is a very minimal ingredients list. 15 ingredients total. So let's talk Neogen. Now, Neogen features a 93% fermented complex, and some of those fermented ingredients include Saccharomyces ferment. This also uses the bifida ferment lysate, and this also features sake or yeast ferment. As far as other notable ingredients in this, we've got some green tea, niacinamide, again, a real classic player in first essences. This really helps support the brightening benefit that you're going to get. But this also features a ton of different amino acids. Now, amino acids are very interesting. They are a natural moisturizing factor that really help hydration levels. It helps your skin attract and hold on to a lot of water. Now, as far as the Neogen essence goes, there's a lot going on in this ingredients list. For being made up of 93% fermented ingredients, I am a little surprised to count 49 ingredients on this ingredients list. So definitely in comparison to Misha, there's a lot more going on with the Neogen. Good or bad? We'll decide that later, but definitely a more complex formulation. There are some differences in the textures, very minute, but hey, this is a this or that comparison review. We're gonna get minute. So let's talk about the Misha first. Now, the Misha does have that thin texture, and yet when you put it onto your skin, it does have a good amount of hydration to it. It does have this little bit of slip to it, and you can feel it if you run it between your fingers just glide across each other because there's that little rich moisture to it, just a hint. And the Neogen, while still being a very thin, watery first essence that quickly absorbs, just like the Misha, it doesn't have that slip to it. It's definitely not something that has richness or moisture at all. It's definitely a thinner texture in all senses of the word. And as such, when you put the Misha onto your skin, you'll immediately feel that it conditions your skin. It softens it, it plumps it. You'll feel a silkiness on your skin just from this little essence alone. The Neogen doesn't have that effect on the skin. Price-wise, there's definitely a lot of variation in the price of the Misha essence. You see this run from anywhere between $52 all the way down to $25. It's definitely something that you might want to look around and shop around for prices. I must admit, you can definitely get a deal on this one. The Neogen, I think the price on the Neogen, I see that to be more fairly consistent. The full retail price is about $38. I think I've seen it, the lowest is like a little bit closer to the $30 mark. So generally speaking, these can be within the same price range. Okay, so let me share my experience and really my opinions about these two products. And I'm just gonna put it out there before I get into detail. I prefer the Misha. I have used the Misha in the past, one of the very first incarnations of this product, right? Many years ago, I used the Misha and I remember liking it. I recently brought it back into my routine, particularly because I wanted to do this comparison review and I wanted to see how it performed for me years later. And I'm happy to report it's really performing exactly how I remember it to. It really does prep the skin. It really helps increase hydration and it definitely gives an overall brighter complexion to the skin with continuous use. So I'm very happy with this. The Neogen is one of those first essences that did irritate my skin. Oh, I was so disappointed. I looked forward to this essence for so long. I wanted to get it for a really long time. I finally purchased it at like the end of August, beginning of September. I did a Yes Style haul unboxing video. This was part of it. And that was months ago. Like, why am I only including it in a review now? Because I tried this so many different ways. Do you see how angry I am? Just slapping my wrist. I tried this so many different ways and it just did not work for me. I first tried it in the early fall and it was just one of those situations where it was kind of making my skin feel a little bit dry, a little bit irritated. And so I wasn't 100% sure it was that essence because I'm a skincare YouTuber, guys. I play a little fast and loose with when I start to introduce new products. I can. Second experience, I brought it in, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks later. It took me a hot second to bring it back in. And I started to use it consistently for about 3 days, I think it was, maybe 4 days, morning and night. And I started to get all these little random whiteheads on my skin. And for me, in my experience with my skin, when I get little random whiteheads, that is a sign of irritation. It is not a sign of acne or clogged pores. It is definitely 100% a product irritation. Interesting, right? Really interesting because I 100% for sure have tried all of the fermented ingredients that are in this product. I've used them in other products. I've never had issues with fermented ingredients giving my skin any problems whatsoever. So really my conclusion for me personally on this is just there's something about the overall formulation or maybe one of those many extracts or whatever else is lurking in those 49 ingredients. It's really difficult for me to give you a good comparison just because I couldn't get too far with it. So obviously my choice is the Misha. I do, just having gone through that comparison as well, I do think the Misha is just slightly more superior when it comes to getting it done with less ingredients and definitely having some more barrier supportive ingredients in there. That's definitely something that I personally appreciate. And especially if you have sensitive skin, if you and I are skin twins, I'd say skip the Neogen. I think that it's very likely that it could cause you some woes. All right, let's move on to a pair of moisturizing toners. And this is Laneige Cream Skin Refiner versus I'm From Rice Toner. I personally would like to tell you, I don't think that these products are similar at all. I think they're quite different. And yet, I have gotten so many questions about comparisons between the two. And so a lot of us really are linking these two up in our minds as being very similar products. So what I aim to do with this portion of the video is to really shed some light on their differences, because they are more different than they are the same. And I know I've said this before, I think the only thing that's similar about them is the fact that they're both white and watery toners. First of all, we've got some really massively different claims here. Laneige Cream Skin Refiner is saying that it's really going to moisturize your skin and replace multiple products. And the I'm From Rice toner, really their claim to fame here is to help brighten up your complexion. All right, ingredients. Laneige Cream Skin Refiner features a very unique ingredient called white tea leaf water. Now what this is basically a green tea leaf that's been turned white. What? Why do they do that? This is a very special process that helps to up the amino acid content of the green tea, now white tea leaf water. And what amino acids really do for your skin is they attract and bind a lot of hydration. They are a natural moisturizing factor. Now, this also uses cream blending technology, and basically what that is it allows a lot of really deeply moisturizing ingredients, which would generally be quite thick, right? We're thinking like an actual moisturizer in texture. They've been able to figure out how to get those types of ingredients into a fluid. And that's really what this is. This is a milky, thin, completely watery fluid. If I really had to break it down for you, like through percentages, I would say Laneige Cream Skin Refiner is 25% hydrating and 75% moisturizing. So I'm From Rice toner has, gasp, rice. Yes, 77% rice extract. This also features rice bran. Now, rice, as mentioned earlier, can really help even out your complexion, give your skin a really healthy kind of lit from within type of brightening. We're not talking about super like hyperpigmentation fading, but rice can definitely help contribute to an overall really healthy, sort of translucent, glowy type of complexion. Now, rice also has a couple of other benefits that we hardly ever focus on because we want that brightening. Rice also brings some skin support to the party. It really can help support your skin's elasticity. So it's a good sort of like anti-aging, well-aging type of ingredient. Plus, rice actually contains a good amount of what we just talked about, amino acids, that natural moisturizing factor. So rice does bring some of its own like hydration binding properties to the party. As far as other notable ingredients in the rice toner, I mean, pretty much all I could really ever call out on this one is niacinamide. Definitely something that's going to help support the overall brightening claims of this product. The biggest differences between the two when it comes to like a side-by-side texture comparison, they do look the same. They do not feel the same. Laneige Cream Skin Refiner, if you move that across your fingers, you're going to start to feel that rich slip, that nourishment, that moisturization. And if you put too much Laneige Cream Skin Refiner on your skin, if you load it up too much or if you layer it up a lot, it will build up quite frankly, greasy or a little oily looking on the skin, shiny. Now, the rice toner, on the other hand, while it is the same look of texture, you don't get that slip when you run it between your fingers. It just feels like how your fingers would feel if you put water in between them. You don't have that richness, that moisturization to it. You can layer the rice toner up on your skin quite a few times, and you're not really going to build a lot of weight or greasiness onto your skin by layering the toner. So there's definitely an essential difference in the texture when it comes to how it feels on the skin. The rice toner is much thinner with much less nourishment than the Laneige Cream Skin Refiner. As far as price goes, these are actually very neck and neck. Laneige Cream Skin Refiner and I'm From Rice Toner both do generally retail around $25 to maybe $28. They're usually just under $30, and they both come in the same size, which is 150 milliliters. So they're definitely very close in this category. So what's the final verdict? This or that? It really is a draw. Yeah, I hate when I say it, it's up to you, but it's so true with this one. You know, as I said at the beginning of this segment, these products are more different than they are alike. So different, in fact, that they really don't they really aren't comparable. So for me, I think this is really more what you're looking for in a product because they perform so differently. When it comes to Laneige Cream Skin Refiner, I mean, we're talking moisture. This brings a lot of that soothing moisture to the party. It's very barrier supportive as well with all those amino acids. This is also something that I've gotten a lot of relief from when I have dry and irritated skin. This brings my skin a lot of relief, and it is fabulous if you have severe dehydration on your skin as well. It plays into a very balanced routine. That being said, the I'm From Rice toner is definitely more of a lighter weight product, something that can be layered up a little bit more. It has less moisture to it. So if you're seeking a moisturizing toner, I'm not exactly sure this is gonna make you very happy. This is definitely a lot thinner. It has a whisper of nourishment to it, but really not a lot. But the biggest claim to fame on this one is the fact that it can kind of help overall improve your complexion, which is something the Laneige doesn't even claim to do because it's just not part of its MO. So these are very, very different. I will share with you the fact that I personally, by this or that, I really do prefer this Laneige Cream Skin Refiner. It just serves my skin's needs better. And when I'm looking at a moisturizing toner, I want moisture, right? Laneige Cream Skin Refiner delivers on moisture. For me, the I'm From Rice toner really didn't. And if I can be completely candid, many of you know, I'm not actually a big fan of this product. There's nothing wrong with it by any means. It's a solid product, but it just didn't really excite me, and it didn't really serve a huge role in my skincare routine. It wasn't super hydrating and it wasn't super nourishing. It fell somewhere in the middle. And for me, you know, that was just a little bit slightly disappointing. And so it really just depends on what you're looking for. I mean, if you have oily skin, Laneige Cream Skin Refiner is not for you. Let me just put it that way. I think that the I'm From Rice toner will probably serve an oily skin type a lot better. But if you're seeking for something really lightweight, layerable, and brightening, Rice toner is for you. If you're seeking for something very nourishing, maybe really super balancing and very maybe calming on the skin, Laneige Cream Skin Refiner might be for you. So let us visit the world of bougie K-beauty, a world that I rarely visit. It happens occasionally, but not a lot. Today I want to talk about some essences from Primera and Iope. These essences are on the pricey side. I mean, we're talking like $60 a pop. So these are definitely a little bit bougie, a little bit expensive, and I definitely want to do comparison because trying both of them, I really felt that they were so similar in the benefits that they delivered, in their texture. They're both very hydrating essences. So the miracle in Primera Miracle Seed Essence is the lotus seed extract. It is very rich in amino acids. And as we covered earlier in the video, amino acids are a great natural moisturizing factor for your skin. But as you research further into lotus seed extract, especially if you're into barrier care like I am, you're going to get really excited when you find out that this is high in a fatty acid we know as linoleic acid. Now, this is so beneficial for your moisture barrier. This is one of those essential type of ingredients that really helps to fortify your barrier, strengthen it up, which helps your skin hold on to more hydration. Not only that, but this also has a benefit for acne prone and clog prone skin, because once you start feeding your skin a little bit more of this fatty acid, it actually over time starts to regulate your skin's sebum production. Other sort of notable ingredients in here, besides the miracle ingredient, niacinamide, always a classic player, as I mentioned before in essences. And this also features Saccharomyces ferment. So we're getting some of that fermented benefit into the party of the Primera Miracle Seed Essence as well, which is going to help the overall formulation to penetrate the skin better, work faster, and also it's going to help with skin prep. It's going to just help other skincare products you put on top work better for you. Now, the Iope ingredients are definitely just as juicy. So one of the main ingredients in the Iope Bio-Intensive Essence is Saccharomyces ferment. Now, this is a fermented ingredient that's rich in, ding, 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 amino acids. We're very familiar with those by now. Other notable ingredients in this essence include niacinamide, green tea. We also have adenosine, caffeine and cholesterol. So let's compare the textures, because that is where I knew this was going to be a this or that segment, because they're so similar. Both are very hydrating textures. They're fluid essences, but as far as like the other essences we talked about at the beginning of the video, the Misha and Neogen, these essences are a little bit thicker in appearance. They are watery, but they have body to them. The Primera particularly has a little bit of that nourishing slip that we've talked about before, that little bit of nourishment and moisture to it. And it really brings a lot of hydration into your skin. Now the Iope, very, very similar. It is a runny texture with some body to it. But when you run it between your fingers, it doesn't really have that slip that the Primera does. And it does still have that deep hydrating property. But if I had to pick out one difference between the two, the Iope is just a little thinner than the Primera. So let me share my experience using these products, because spoiler alert, I like them both, and my bank account hates that I like them both. Now the Primera is the essence that I tried first, and I was really, really impressed with this product. I kind of didn't want to be, just because of that price. And it is a very popular product that gets a lot of hype, right? So it was one of those products that I was like, I don't know about this one, but it really did win me over quite quickly. As I mentioned before, it is a hydration bomb. There is something special about that lotus seed extract. And through all of my barrier adventures, I know that, you know, fatty acids and linoleic acid in particular is very beneficial for my skin, which is dehydrated. The barrier is always just a little bit weak, and I am prone to congestion. So this type of ingredient has always played well with my skin. This is that very special essence that just goes that extra mile for my dehydrated skin, deeply hydrating and replenishing it. The Iope though is a lovely essence, and I really enjoy this because it does still deeply hydrate my skin. It brings a lot of replenishment to my skin. With the Iope particularly, I notice a lot of, not a lot of, but I guess I would just say, like, in comparison, the Iope definitely improves my skin's complexion. Let me put it that way. It's not like a so bright you're gonna glow in the dark, but it definitely just kind of overall gives that really nice glowy appearance to the skin, a very healthy and balanced complexion. Primera is very healing, repairing, hydrating, and the Iope hydrates but also brightens, and that's the essential difference in my mind between the two. And that's really where the this or that comes down to. I mean, first of all, if you don't have $60 to spare on an essence, don't worry about it. That's my practical advice. But if you're really kind of intrigued by both of these, I'd say go for the Primera if you're suffering from a lot of dehydration or barrier issues. If you have very sensitive skin, this could be a good one for you. Go for the Iope if you're seeking for that lovely hydrating experience, but you're also really wanting your essence to give you a nice visible brightening benefit on your skin. I think you'll be a little bit happier with the Iope in the long run. So I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of This or That. It's always fun to put these together. So let me know in the comment box below, is there a product comparison that you'd like to see me do in the next episode? Let me know your this or that requests in the comment box below. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, but you absolutely love this video, please consider subscribing. I release 2 new K-beauty focused videos every single week, and don't forget to ring the alarm so you never miss out when I upload the new video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I can't wait to see you in the next video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.